Welcome to the Sun CSA table where we
That's fine. I took about this table, right?
No, we are not talking about this table. This is a podcast for discussing nutrition issues. We welcome you to listen, come and learn, and connect.
Social media handles.
Yes. Like, follow, subscribe,
Connect with us.
So, welcome to the Sun Table, where we listen, we learn, and we connect. So, this provides us with an opportunity to be able to engage different stakeholders in a very secure and safe environment for our work. The guests that we bring on board will be able to help us in terms of unpacking the work that we do, but also give us insights of the work that they do. But also communities will also have a voice to be able to engage. I will be your host for this series. I'm Ed Jalcott. I'm the Executive Director of Scaling Up Nutrition Civil Society Alliance. And this is our inaugural episode. And I'm glad to be joined by a colleague from Nigeria. So this is Ogak from Nigeria. So flee LA and carry, very many miles to be here. Yeah, so I'll also give him an opportunity to be able to introduce himself and tell us something unique about their country. Because this is a table whereby we are free to engage. So no technicalities, just free to be able to discuss whatever is affecting nutrition. Yeah, so over to you, Olga, to also introduce yourself and then tell us something.
Thanks, Edgar. And I think it's a privilege to be here. It's an opportunity to be part of the inaugural uh, cast for the podcast, Learn, Listen, and Connect. Like you heard, my name is Okronko Sunday. I'm the Executive Secretary of the Sun Civil Society Alliance for Nigeria. And you asked the question, you said, what unique thing about Nigeria? Okay. As you know, we're the giant of Africa. And I think one thing that stands about is that we're very hospitable. When you come to Nigeria, every part of the country you go to, people are willing to welcome you and to help you in any way you want or you would like or so. Thanks so much for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you so much. That was really interesting. Yeah, so just to get us started, we need to start from the basics in terms of what is sun and why do we really need to focus so much on sun, and maybe is there something unique between sun in Nigeria and also sun in Kenya, be that you've now been visiting us on and off for 3 years?
Yeah, I think SEL is a unique movement. I think it's one movement that has not just been able to bring the issues of malnutrition to limelight, but has also galvanized countries to do something around it. And the truth is that, yeah, the Sun Global movement is one across countries. Just as you have several arms in Nigeria, you also have same arms here. In Kenya, you have the government arm, you have the academia arm, you have the government, you have the donor, you have UN. Even now, we also have youth activists or the youth voice. Some are synced with the Civil Society Alliance arm of the same movement. So I think it's one and the same. The structures are similar. The mandates are same. Combating malnutrition and ensuring you eradicate it by 2030 or so. That's the first target or so. So it's one and the same. The only thing is that in different countries, they try to contextualize it to suit the situation within country. But are they one? I am on the same.
Yeah, so yeah, sun is a unique movement. It helps in terms of just bringing different stakeholders together so that we're able to work with communities. One of the things that I love about SUN, specifically the civil society alliances or the civil society networks, is that we are able to force multiply. Yeah, we force multiply their engagements. And also, we're able to share global practices and then we take them to communities. But then, more importantly, is that we work with the communities to be able to make sure that there's accountability at that level, but also in terms of demand creation. So, just from your experience, why did they say that where we have civil society strong, then that's where SAD is strong? Yeah. It only applies to Kenya, or yeah.
No. I think the cuts across the globe. For example, in Nigeria, the civil society is the strongest. I'm not amazing, but is one of the strongest of a Sun movement in country. We literally, I would say, give birth to some of the arms of the Sun movement in country. Other than the fact that the Sun Secretariat headed by the Sun Focal Point, the Civil Society Alliance have been the one almost from the one that supports the quarterly meetings, that supported the development of the Sun strategy in country and so on and so forth. We also, I would say, tell you, Uri, I'm proud of that fact and it's a privilege. We give birth to the Academia Network. They leaned on the Civil Society Alliance to start, the Academia Network in country, and we still work collaboratively, very close currently. The Sun Business Network too, even though sits in game, they are not independent like us, but we've had interactions where they come to ask, how do you do this? Because they are also working towards also that becoming another Sunni that stands on their own. So the truth, it cuts across because we're close to the grassroots. We know what they go through. We understand their problems. And somehow we've been their voice. We've been able to magnify some of these issues, bring it up to the highest level of policymakers, and also even also taking back solutions to the grassroots. So yeah, we are not on point. When you say, yeah, the civil society is their strongest, and none can contest that.
Yes, the Sun CSA table where we listen, we learn, and we connect. But there's something that you brought up, and I'll really cycle back to it in terms of standing alone, being independent. And I know there are intricacies that come with that, and we'll be able to revisit that. You've rightfully said it. We are able to connect with the communities because that's where the real action happens. But also, we're able to take up this information to the national levels here. And also, we have about this opportunity to have our regional engagements, continental engagements, and at global connection and also global engagements. We're still introducing SUN, just for us to be able to understand why are we talking about the SUN CSA table? Why are we giving it the name, the SUN CSA table? So we are still laying that foundation for that we're able to have a much more meaningful conversation as we move forward. So coming back to being able to be independent, and you've said the academia and things such are also trying to do the same. Why be independent?
Okay. I think according to the Sun CSN strategy, there are two options. Is it that you sit within an organization or you're able to also stand alone independently and function as a CSA. They are all correct and same. But if you ask me whether the advantages, I would say the advantages are numerous, and I'll mention some of them. For us, the Sun CSA in Nigeria, from the word go, we opted for, seeing how we can build from the scratch.
Yeah.
Uh, in the sense that there were no organizations that, was willing to house us. They were. In fact, the Sun Civil Society Alliance Nigeria was midwifed by Save the Children International. It was through one of their projects, the support of the advocacy director and the team that supported the initial. Okay. Are you serious right now?
What has happened?
Yeah, flying about you. I mean, maybe. Okay, so the advantage for being independent, standing alone as a CSE are numerous, and I just tried to mention a few. But all the things is the fact that you are able to define, design, and create an organization that has this privilege to grow. Right from the constitution you put together sees as an alliance. You have other organizations are part of it. The involvement of members, in defining what guides them, memorandum of understanding, and the rest of them, and also being able to articulate around what the office structure would look like, what your vision, your mission, your targets, and the rest of them will be is good. It's one of the advantage. Another advantage is if you're sitting in an organization, they leverage and virtually their systems. But if you are independent, you build your own systems. And having those systems around financing system, programmatic systems, and the rest of them is critical to positioning you to be able to access funds, which is critical to your survival as an organization. And so that the fact that you then means you have to, for example, start from the scratch or leverage on other people, have policies that are suitable, have financing manuals and the rest of them that are suitable, and also building your, mm, your programmatic policies and all that. So that's a major advantage also that you get. And then also, as a sensible society alliance for sustainability, you're not just dependent on, for example, the grants you get from, say, the Sensible Society Alliance, global level. They recommend some, they open up opportunities for us. And that's not sufficient to keep you as an organization that will base in your house scouts, both in your pursue your mandates and your programs and the rest of them. So you need to have high that build not a name, a profile for yourself. You need to be able to, have all your systems that will enable you compete with other organizations. I use the word compete because we may have to also apply for, grants and the rest of them, like other organizations, for you to be, sustainable. So for me, that's also a major advantage and things like that. And then one key thing that I would say is the soul and foundation also is the fact that it gives you that opportunity, that privilege to be able to design how the alliance would work in their own country. Now, if you sit within an organization, you're limited by what is allowed within my organization. I know that some organization promotes cross-cultural, promote cross-cultural relationships and, cultures that it's good for organizations. But what's better than the alliance members themselves sitting down, saying, this is where we want, this is how it goes, this is how it works in my locality. I believe if we adapt this, this will work and the rest of them. These are just a few things I believe that, you know, it's advantageous for civil society allies to be able to stand on their own. And for us in Nigeria, for example, I think we've grown massively. We started with just 11 organizations. Today we have close to over 430 member organizations. We have a secretariat that started with 3 member staff at the back of where they're staying at the back boys quarters of one of the leading organization and Hefon. And today we have almost a whole building to ourselves. We have over 20 staff members. We have volunteers. We have leave corpers. We have interns. Uh, we're a growing organization, and the truth is we're being positioned not just to impact um, the society today, but futuristically we want to become a strong organization, that our voice will be heard and respected across the country, even beyond.
Yeah, really, it's really critical because we are sharing the same things with you in terms of the journey. And I agree with you. I've tested both worlds. You're being hosted, and also where now you are also being where you're independent. And when you look at the growth, it's really steep. Still, you are really independent, but also you build legitimacy. Yes, because you have an organization that is implementing, then you become very legitimate in terms, even in the eyes of government, but also in the eyes of the stakeholder that you serve. But one of the things that I really found that was really difficult is in terms of sometimes the conflict between the organization that is hosting you and your mandate that you need to discharge. It has become very difficult in terms of enabling this to happen. So I'm glad that we are sharing something, and the growth has been very phenomenal. You remember when you came here 3 years ago? Yeah. Then I was just one by an army. Yeah. And by then we had our membership was around 97. But right now, I also have a whole team, and we are 400 and Jesus. Yes, you can imagine how that independence actually enabled us. Yeah. So, and by being independent, does it mean that we don't work? No, the other colleagues that out. It's just that it allows us to be able to discharge our functions and also be able to engage. And I love it that we have these things that we're sharing, and also just that we are able to work together. And that's why our partnership is really been great. Uh, Coming back to one of our core mandates is to be able to inform the general public, or to be able to inform the stakeholders of what's actually happening. And we're starting our podcast. Do you think it's the right direction? I've do the advantages that we might be able to, because yes, someone might say, oh, why don't you just work with the media, because the media are already there. Huh? Here you are, you're also starting a mini media company for yourselves. Do you think there's going to be a conflict, or is something that we really need to explore? And where are some of the what's your feeling? Although a feeling, well, is the politically correct? Yeah. What do you think you need to do?
I still want to use the absolutely as it as the right thing to do. It's art, is needed, and is at the right, coming at the right time. I say so because like you said, we work together. I think I would say somehow we're becoming twin in thinking around some things. You know, while I was coming also, I thought maybe when I come and I'll be telling you, maybe now have a whole studio if, and we want to be able to get out to the people, create content for ourselves, inform people for ourselves, and the rest of them, and somehow you kickstart the kind starting, yeah, you need, because the truth is, there's a difference between latching on other platforms and creating a platform for yourself. The social media space has become one of the main platforms to both create awareness and pass across, the kind of message and messaging they have.
Yeah.
Virtually, if you check Kenya and you check Nigeria, you find that if in the most interior villages, you'll be shocked that even people have access to phones, they have access to the internet and the rest of them.
Yeah.
So being able to reach them directly with the right message and messaging is the way to go. So it's a work on development, and then I used to tell people, I said, you will latch on the media platform from time to time.
Yeah.
You even have the resources. How do you sustain the message?
Yes.
How do you keep that message ongoing? And for example, if maybe you don't have funds and grants, for example, would you have what it takes to be able to make sure you disseminate this message appropriately?
Yeah.
So having this channel and this platform is already, making it possible for you to both create messages, disseminate them, get to the people who need the message. We collaborate with government. We have, several interventions.
Yeah.
a world being, for example, exclusive breastfeeding or backyard gardening and the rest of them. Yes, government, they preach this. Who and I know that we're in the best place to get it to the communities because the community will listen to us, they'll believe us, and they will want to act because they know, even before now, Givero's been one who stand for their rights, who speak up for them when they cannot speak for themselves. So if you ask me, is it the right thing? Absolutely. Is it the right time? Absolutely. Is it a good thing that will help us get to our target audiences at the community level?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes.
Yeah, they usually say that the right time to do something is now, but the best time to do it is right now. Exactly. Yes. So we are on the positive side or the good side of history, and I know history will really judge us right of what we're doing because this is where we listen, we learn, and we connect. Because this podcast will be able to bring stakeholders, beneficiaries, so that we get to interact and we get to understand one another. Because at the community level, that's where there are real needs. For us here, we might just have felt need. We feel that the community need this. Then we take the interventions. But we now bring in the feedbacks from this, and then they tell us not really our real needs and this. When we bring donors to this platform, then they'd also be able to tell us what is it that they're prioritizing, so that we also feel how best we can fit into that. And so for us, we'll be able to have many episodes. We'll be able to have solo episodes. We'll be able to have panels. We'll be able to engage. Nothing technical. It will be about how do we have it as practical as possible. And so this podcast will be able to do just that. This will also be a sign of how we report, but also how we become accountable, because we also need to become mutually accountable amongst ourselves. Yeah, so tune in and kindly be able to connect with us in terms of being able to subscribe, because it is through the subscription that we'll be able to reach as many people as possible. And with that, we'll want to wrap it up. And I really want to appreciate you for having traveled all the way. Yes, all the way from Nigeria to be here with us. Just to be able to engage with our audience, but also to engage with our staff on what we need to do and what needs to be improved. If with that, we'll have to stop it at that and see you in the next episode. Do not miss. Please subscribe, because that is the only way that we'll be able to listen, we'll be able to connect, we'll be able to learn. And goodbye from the Sun CSA table. See you next year. Bye. Yes, bye.
Connect with us.